Uh-oh. I see someone moving its paw. Nah, it's rolling over. So where did we leave off on Corpse Party? With love from the heart of the school.
Hi hi! では始めますよ!
You'll find a way to have D&D weird. I've been warned. I've been warned it's a very weird one.
それでは記念すべき1回戦は
Probably Tuesday we'll do Baldur's Gate.
誰がサトシくんをゲット？校内ビーチフラッグ対決です。ビーチフラッグ？どこで？ここ小学校だよね。砂場？会場には後ほどご案内します。参加者の皆様、まずは水着に着替えましょう。さあ、もう勝負は始まってますよ。更衣室にて水着争奪戦です。さあ、更衣室までダッシュ。
Nobody fully understands what's going on just yet, but everyone just kind of started running.
私が一番ね。水着って一体どこに？あ、ロッカーに水着が入れてある。いっぱいあるな。どれにしよう。
The other 10-year-old?
もう、なんでこんなことに。
I think Sachiko was like 10 or 11 when it happened.
きつい。ああ、中島さん早い。おお、いろんな水着があるのね。水着なんて着るの久しぶりよ。どうしよっかな。更衣室遠いよ。苦しい。なんで私まで。
Finally, the whole gang was present in the locker room.
水着いろいろあるね。私ビキニは無理。私も無理だから。
Ayumi had her hand on her dress-type swimsuit, but Toko was apparently prepared to fight her for it, her hand also tightly grasping its stretchy fabric.
ちょっと引っ張らないで。そっちこそ。ちょっと。二人とも落ち着いて。ほら、じゃんけん。私が先に掴んだんだから。私だよ。ああ、怖い。思ったより水着が小さい。本当だ。胸が水着に食い込む。
This is gonna be great.
私 E カップだから M サイズの水着だとちょっときついんだよね。
Yuka glanced down at her own chest. The swimsuit she'd chosen was too big for her flat-shaped body, barely even staying on since it had nothing to really grip to.
釣り落ちちゃいそうだよ。きつく結ばなきゃ。
As Yuka fiddled with her swimsuit, Ayumi was busy taking her school uniform off right beside her. And as she did, a small bottle fell from the pocket and rolled onto the floor.
委員長、何それ？なんでもないよ。聖水持ってきちゃった。願いが成就する効力があるってナホさんのブログに載ってたやつ。
We're not gonna use that on the ghost? Okay.
持田くんとのキス。篠崎さん、行くわよ。あ、はい。どうしよう。これ。とりあえず。
Yumi stuck the bottle back into the pocket of her now discarded school uniform. I didn't think to use it on the Hellspawn, right? Didn't work. It wouldn't have worked, but I mean. The girls gathered out by the connecting walkway between the two school buildings, the wind and rain violently whipping at their swimsuits. They were completely exposed to the elements here, and the elements seemingly had no mercy. Each of the girls shivered noticeably as they patted and rubbed themselves in vain effort to stay warm. No, they're really not smart. Just outside the walkway was a gloomy-looking forest that stretched back who knows how far, its dim canopy of trees looking about as uninviting as it can be. Like, they know for a fact the one that's making them do all this can kill them with a snap of the finger, and they still argue with her. They're not exactly the smartest.
寒い。こんな場所があるのね。あっちの校舎には行きたくないな。
The door opened, and both Satsuki and Sachiko emerged from it.
みんな、水着に合ってるよ。私はもちろんビッキニ。
No means no. Satsuki leaned forward, thrusting her chest outward in the best approximation of a sexy pose she could muster.
さつきちゃん、何その格好。それのどこがビキニなのよ。貝殻ついてるだけじゃない。
Indeed, her swimsuit consisted of 2 white seashells for the top and 1 for the bottom, and nothing else. The shape of her body was extremely easy to discern.
ちゃんと紐もついてますよ。肌色だから見えにくいけど。ほら。
Satsuki yanked on the string, binding the 2 halves of her top together, seemingly to prove to herself, as much as everyone else, that it was holding. Japan, ladies and gentlemen, yes, chat.
そういう問題じゃ。いやー、水着の女の子がたくさん盛り上がってきましたね。
As if on cue, a cold wind blew across the walkway, lapping at everyone's skin.
そうかな。なんで司会実況のあなたまで着替えてるのよ。しかも一番目立つやつ。もう帰りたい。寒いしつらい。やっぱりビキニやめればよかった。恥ずかしいよ。では皆様、お待ちかね、王様の登場です。どうですか、サトシくん、この女子たちのあで姿。
From the white mist that hung in the air, Satoshi slowly came into view. The fuck was that? I swear I didn't add that. And his appearance was not what anyone expected. A mild commotion erupted.
サトシ、何その格好。お兄ちゃん。持田くん、すごい格好。
Thank you, Afu. He just stood there, his face turning beet red. He was wearing a pair of trunks, a red cloak with a golden tassel draped over his shoulders, and an enormous crown on his head. And upon his feet were a pair of red boots with matching gold tassels liberally dangling from the rims.
まさに裸の王様ね。
無理やり着ろって言われたんですよ。
Corpse party.
ハーレムだから、やっぱり男の子は王様でしょう。
どこで知ったんだそんな知識。
Satoshi's shoulders really couldn't have been more slumped. He looked utterly defeated.
ほら元気出して。水着の女の子たちだよ。
No, you little shit, answer our question.
さあ、一人一人見ていってもらいましょう。
You told her, didn't you?
え？
もうみんな恥ずかしがりなんだから、さつきが見本を見せてあげる。さとしくん、この水着どうかな。
水着っていうか貝殻つけてるだけだから。
だから紐がついてるんですって、ちゃんと見てくださいよ。
Satsuki followed this comment by immediately thrusting her chest forward, placing it dangerously close to Satoshi.
触ってもいいですよ。
What?
え？
だってさとしくん、王様だから。
Wait, who's talking and why is it only coming out of one ear? If we touch her, bad things are going to happen.
いいよ、そんな触るなんて。
Satsuki slid up to Satoshi as he waved his hand to indicate that he was turning down her offer.
いいですから。
Satsuki had begun forcibly pulling Satoshi's hand toward her chest. Finally, she overpowered him, pushing his hand firmly against one of the seashells. This is Twitch tape. I need an adult. This is on the Twitch roster too.
柔らかい。これが女の子の胸。
Jesus Christ, Satoshi. For just a moment, he allowed himself to be a little enraptured by what was happening to him.
さとしちゃん。
We said no! We got the bad end.
持田くん。
Run. Dude, run.
え？
Run. Satoshi became aware of the girls behind him, who all wore looks of unbridled rage upon their faces.
ちょっと待った！違うんだ。これはその。
Well, this game was made by the group that does Course Party as all of a joke, so that's probably why they're doing this, just to see what they could get away with. They're trying to hit all of the anime cliches with this. You added some Nintendo sound effects in there. Before he could get another word, he was being pummeled by his female companions, unable to quell their rage. They were absolutely merciless. Meanwhile, Toko looked on from a distance and let out a wistful sigh.
帰りたい。
Satoshi, battered and bruised, managed to eke out of the very thin, very faintly voiced plea.
許してください。
まあ、ちょっかい出してきたのはあの子だけど。さつきちゃん中学生なんでしょ？色っぽいわね。ほう。
Yuka looked down at her chest dejectedly.
同い年なのに、ゆかとは全然スタイルが違う。ねえ、持田くんにああいうことするのやめてくれる？あゆみんな怒らないで。さとしくんはみんなのものだよ。みんなでめでよう。あゆみーな？はいはい。それじゃあさつきのお手本を参考にどんどんアピールしていきましょう。ほらゆかち。
Satsuki pushed Yuka forward from behind, forcing her to confront her brother.
お兄ちゃん、似合ってるかな。ゆか、初めてのビキニなんだけど。
Just pat her on the head.
いいんじゃないかって。うわー
Satoshi immediately averted his eyes while Yuka covered her chest with her arm.
あらあら、ちょっとサイズが大きかったみたいで、ビキニがずり落ちちゃったみたいですね。でも、ナイスアピール。
You did that on purpose, didn't you?
では同じくビキニのナオミさん。ほらほら照れてないで。
Naomi slowly, hesitantly walked up to Satoshi. The two of them looked at one another over more closely, and almost at the exact same time, they each couldn't hold it in anymore.
もう、サトシの格好面白すぎる。
We found the couple.
なんだよ。でもまあ自分でも笑える。
マジックでヒゲとか描いたらいいんじゃないの？鼻の下に J のマークのやつ。
完全にバカ王だな。ナオミの渡り廊下でビキニってのも結構笑えると思うんだけど。
だよね。
Neither Satoshi nor Naomi could stop it. They both just burst out laughing from the very pits of their stomachs. And as soon as they did, all the tension presented among the other girls instantly melted away.
ほんと、おかしいわよね。こんな不気味な廃校で水着でハーレムとか。傍から見たら妙なサバトみたいに見えるかも。言えてる。ああ、皆さんいい感じにほぐれてきましたね。それでは王様をゲットするのは誰か。ビーチフラッグ対決開始です。スタートラインに並んでください。
The whole gang moved as a group over to the white line drawn on the ground at one end of the walkway and took their positions as indicated.
全員うつ伏せに寝転んで手を顎の下に置いてください。砂浜じゃないのに寝転ぶんだ。意外ときちんとやるのね。
Someone... You guys can't hear it, but someone's rooster's going psychotic outside.
冷たい。
I thought that guy usually only crows in the mornings. I wonder why he's crowing at this hour.
それでは皆さん、準備はいいですか？はい、スタート！
Everyone shot to their feet as soon as the starting pistol, when did she even get a starting pistol, fired.
さあ、引き続き実況の水原さつきがお送りします。合図とともに各馬一斉に走り出しました。誰が馬よ。あの子本当に中学生？なんか競馬の実況中継みたい。おーっと優香選手、慌ててしまったのか砂もないのに足を取られて転倒。これは痛い。
Those are 5 mages. Okay, what else have they done? I know about 5PB, but what else have they done? I know they do the cork party games.
各馬一列に並んでいる。誰が抜けるか。ナオミ選手、頭一つ抜け出した。もう、なんで私がこんなことを。でも、負けたくない。もし賞品がサトシのキスだったら、他の子にキスなんて、いや。
Okay, Mika?
次に出てきたのはおさげの委員長、あゆみ選手。
Naomi turned to look, and sure enough, Ayumi was right alongside her now. She was laser focused on the road ahead, not even turning to look at Naomi, nor saying a word.
なんで委員長がこんなに頑張ってるの？もしかしてサトシのことが好きなの？ちょっとみんな早い。ゆかちゃんが転んで、あのトウコって子はやる気がないし、やっぱりライバルはダッシュだわ。
Naomi put every last bit of energy she had into her feet, practically kicking the ground out of her way. Oh, they did the Steingate game. Those are actually ones on my list to do. As she did so, she swung her hands in an increasingly wide arc.
それにしても、この渡り廊下、なんでこんなに長いの？状況によってぐんぐん距離が伸びる天神小学校の渡り廊下を選手たちが突き進んでいます。伸びてんじゃないわよ。
You're in a fucking school in another dimension.
ほう、ナオミ選手、スパートをかけました。また成功です。このまま逃げ切るのか。このままじゃ負けちゃう。転倒したゆかちと最初から走ってないトウコさんが全然レースに絡んでこないですね。どうしましょう、幸子さん。
leave him alone.
ちょっとルールを変えるわ。
Uh-oh.
というと、サトシの身につけている王冠、マント、ブーツをそれぞれ一つずつゲットすること。ふむふむ。何もゲットできなかった最後の一人は大切にしてるもの一つもらっちゃおう。
Hey, does anyone remember she's a sadistic little girl?
そんな絶対嫌。
All at once, the three of them just bolted.
すっごい早い。
Suzuki leaned in and whispered into Sachiko's ear.
幸子さん、今日は楽しい文化祭にするんじゃなかったんですか？うん、さっきのは冗談だよ。そうなんだ。
Sachiko kept a smile on her face as she said this, and retained it afterwards as well, but it was impossible to know what she was actually thinking. What, dude? Satoshi was standing there and even serving as the goal, saw the throng of swimsuit-clad girls running at him with extreme vigor and was taken aback.
なんでみんなあんな怖い顔でこっちに向かってくるんだ。
Satoshi began backing away. As he did, all the scary things that had happened to him in Heavenly Host began replaying in his mind. In this place, the slightest bit of unreadiness could result in a swift demise.
捕まったら本気でヤバい気がする。いきなりハサミを突き立てられたりするかもしれない。心臓がドキドキしてきた。ここにいちゃダメだ。
Satoshi placed one hand on the door to the annex, and as luck would have it, it wasn't locked. It opened with barely any effort.
ごめんなさい!
Fuck off, bye! And with that, he leapt inside.
どうしよう。
Satoshi took a close look at his surroundings.
お、ここで動きがありました。なんとハーレムの主人公であるサトシ君が逃げ出したようです。
All it really matters is that she's happy because that means they don't die.
さて、どうなってしまうのでしょうか。
Satoshi quickly surveyed the two doors on either side of this old building's entrance hall.
こっちは棚が倒れている。じゃあこっちだ。
He fled through the open door deeper into the building.
男子トイレ。ここに入って隠れるか。
The entrance of the building flung open and the continuous sound of footfalls ran through the halls.
サトシ君に続いて女の子たちも次々と別館に飛び込んでいく。
ダメだ、絶対見つかる。逃げよう。
To Satoshi's panic-addled mind, the affectionate calls of his female friends might as well have been roars of monsters. This dude is having a panic attack. Satoshi yelled out and began running once more, focusing every last survival instinct he had into his leg muscles.
これはラブコメというよりホラーになってきましたね。幸子さん的にはこれどうなんでしょう。面白い。
Sachiko was clapping. She was very clearly loving this.
OK のようです。
Satoshi began running up the stairs to the second floor. Naomi was right behind him, however, and she was sprinting so fast that she had to take 2 stairs at a time. Despite the bikini, she no longer felt the cold. She felt only the desire to win.
サトシ、待ちなさいよ。なんで逃げるのよ。
There you go, there's a shot for everybody. She called out to him from mere steps behind. But he wouldn't turn back to look at her.
もう、どういうことよ。なんか、だんだん腹が立ってきたんだけど。だいたい、なんでサトシが逃げ回るわけ？
Once Satoshi had reached the second floor, he burst through the door. At this point, Naomi had just crossed the threshold from 1F to 2F herself. But she caught up quickly and had him cornered right to the girls' bathroom. Naomi leapt into the air towards Satoshi, back arms outstretched, reaching for his cloak. But she missed. She had misjudged the distance between herself and her target, so her hand grabbed a rather different article of clothes.
これってサトシの水着？
She had put considerable power into her grab and thus encountered almost no resistance. Down they went. The scream she let out was more like a squeak, as if she had needed to make noise but knew she had to stay quiet and couldn't quite reconcile the two. The upper part of his buttocks were completely exposed and her eyes could focus on nothing else. Then, inadvertently, he lost his balance. As did Naomi, and she fell towards him just as he fell toward her. Somehow, really, that one you didn't have an image for? Somehow the physics of this all worked out in such a way that they were now staring into each other's eyes, lumped together in a heap on the floor. From the outsider's perspective, this must have looked as if it had happened intentionally, and they were about to enter a lover's embrace.
サトシとこんな風に体を密着させたのって初めてかも。思ったよりずっとがっしりしてる。
うわ、柔らかい。って何を考えてるんだ俺は。
Satoshi focused his attention on Naomi's face, which, although closer than it had ever been before, had a familiar calming effect on him.
ごめん。
私こそ。
Both of them began to blush and turn their eyes to look away from one another. Ayumi was the next girl up the stairs. She must have been running around hard enough to cause shortness of breath, as her chest was rising and falling a lot quicker than it naturally should have. As she beheld Satoshi and Naomi's predicament on the floor, her neck stiffened too. For all the world, it looked like they were cuddling.
なんでそんなにくっついてるの？二人で今まで何をしていたんだろう。いつも気づいたら二人きりになって。胸が苦しい。
Within her bosom swelled a mixture of jealousy and irritation, and neither one seemed like it would let up anytime soon. They were competing, in fact, to see which would burn her heart the quickest. Why do I hear boss music? She put both hands on the sides of her head over her ears. Suddenly, very clearly in pain, Satoshi and Naomi instantly became concerned.
篠崎。
委員長、どうしたの？
Ayumi began shaking. Then, all at once, she opened her eyes wide. Run!
篠崎。
Run!
どうしたの？様子が変。
Run. Oh, she snapped.
どうして？逃げるんだ！
What? Even the look on her face had changed. It was as if she'd aged several decades in only a few seconds.
待て！絶対に捕まえてやる！
Satoshi and Naomi ran down the stairs as quickly as they could.
サトシ、どうする？まだ追ってくるよ！
He still has his pants on. Let's try for the music room.
音楽室がある。鍵が開いてる。中に入ろう。
わかった。
The two of them entered the music room.
どうしよう。
ピアノの下に隠れるんだ。
Just as he said this, the door to the room flew open.
どこだ？こっちに来る。
静かに。暗いから簡単には見つからないはずだ。
As if in direct defiance to that statement, however, Ayumi suddenly crouched down and looked directly at the two of them.
いた！
Jesus. She grabbed Satoshi's shoulder with almost superhuman force and yanked him out from under the piano.
捕まえた！
No, that's not the sister.
しっかりしろ、篠崎！
Smack her. Satoshi pushed back against Ayumi, trying to break free from her grip. Smack her.
篠崎！
He managed to put enough force into his push that Ayumi lost her balance. That works. Oh, shit. Unfortunately, this caused her to slam her head into the piano hard.
篠崎！
委員長、痛い。
You were trying to kill us.
ここは？
She had a big frown on her face and was rubbing her head where it had impacted the piano.
篠崎、大丈夫か？すまない。
何 何が。
She was staring blankly at Satoshi.
記憶がないのか。
I mean, they're all technically dead anyway.
その体がぶつかった拍子に篠崎を突き飛ばしてしまったんだ。それで頭を。
そうなの？よくわからないけど、町田くんが大丈夫ならいいや。ああ、コブができてる。
本当か。ごめんな。
うん。
ここは天神小学校。人の心を狂わせる場所だ。追い詰められ、別人のような一面を見せてもおかしくない。行こうか。
Satoshi, Naomi, and Ayumi all stood up and walked out of the music room together.
紆余曲折あって皆さんまた戻ってきましたね。でもいいんですか？そんなにまったりしていて。1回戦の目的分かってます？
The three of them were taken aback. They'd gotten so caught up in the hunt. The end goal of the beach flag competition had totally slipped their minds.
そうよ。
Acting as quickly as she could, she managed. Naomi pounced upon Satoshi, swiping the crown from his head in one quick movement.
王冠ゲット。
Ayumi thought the same thing, albeit a moment later, she leapt at Satoshi and tore off his cloak. As it was being stripped from his body, Satoshi spun in place dramatically.
取ったわよ。ナオミさん、あゆみさん、ゲットおめでとうございます。さて、残りの3人はどうなってるでしょうか。
After a short wait, the pitter-patter of frantically approaching feet became audible.
一周しちゃったわよ。
Yuka and Miss Yui approached Satoshi calmly, as if trying to edge closer to a deer.
もう、なんでビーチフラッグが逃げるのよ。
すいません。なんか怖くて。
もう。
Miss Yu and Yuka each took one of Satoshi's boots off of his feet.
シシド先生、ゆかち、おめでとう。疲れた。もうダメ。ということは？
As if on cue, Toko finally made her way in through the building's entrance.
残念ながら、トウコさん失格です。
Toko only very slightly taken aback by this.
脱落者に与えられる罰とは。
Toko shot a dirty look over at Sachiko, obviously putting on a brave facade. This was belied, however, by the excessive shaking in both her arms and legs.
一回休みです。え？残念ながらトウコさんは2回戦はお休みになります。アピールタイムが減ってしまいますね。これは辛い。なんだ、そんなこと。
Really, you're going to complain? You should have just said thank you.
もう、どんな恐ろしいことが起こるのかと思ったじゃない。
Give Sachiko a minute. She immediately fell to her knees on the spot after hearing this, perhaps out of sheer relief.
大丈夫？
Satoshi seemed to think it was something more serious, so he rushed over to her side to check on her. She flashed him a stiff smile.
安心しただけ。天神小学校だからどんな怖い目に遭うかと思ってたけど、楽しい文化祭って本当みたいね。
なあ、そうだな。
Toko glanced over at Satoshi and saw the gentle look in his eye. Immediately, she turned away and realized her face had gone red.
何よこいつ。どうしてそんな優しい目で見るのよ。やだ。何焦ってんのよ、私ったら。
Toko shunted these new feelings deep down, unwilling to even entertain them.
ダメダメ。男なんて信用したらきっと裏切られる。本性を表すに決まってる。でもあの笑顔は信じてもいいかも。
The girls, having completed the first round of this challenge, were all breathing rather raggedly. They were visibly exhausted to the point of collapse.
いやー、熱い一回戦でしたね。どうですか、幸子さん。もっと見たい。はい、今日の主役がこうおっしゃられてます。というわけで皆さん頑張りましょう。それでは2回戦です。次の舞台はなんとみんな大好き保健室です。
So that's where we're going to leave it for next time. Next game, we're going to have a little bit of fun at the nurse's office. Lord help us all. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for your support, and we'll see you guys next time.